Hey, it's Jack from Jack Gately Real Estate and the Online Real Estate Academy, and I've got another question here for you. Ask Jack. You've got questions. I've got answers. Let's get right into it. If the seller assumes no knowledge of lead paint, like when they fill out the lead paint disclosure form, they check the box that says, I have no knowledge, I don't know nothing, and the buyer then tests for lead paint and it comes out positive, but the buyer backs out, does the seller then have a requirement, an affirmative obligation to disclose the presence of lead for future potential buyers? Excellent question. So let me just say this about that. One, if you as the seller and or the seller's agent, especially the seller's agent, find out from a direct inspectional, non-biased source that there's a known material defect in the property. For instance, there's a giant leak in the roof, and you find this out directly from the home inspector, that now constitutes, in my mind, knowledge. And you should disclose it to any future potential buyer. Now, regarding lead paint, remember that the state requires lead paint inspectors to report their findings to a state database, which is available to the general public. So for you to claim that you didn't know that your house tested positive for lead paint and that a subsequent buyer backed out, but now it's recorded in the state database, ooh, that would be a thin reed to rely upon. So my answer would be, especially if your house tested positive for lead paint, especially you should now amend your lead paint disclosure form to declare that, in fact, you do have knowledge of lead paint in the property. I want to just specify here, though, or set aside something particularly different. If you're negotiating with the buyer's agent, you represent the seller and you're negotiating with the buyer's agent, and the buyer's agent starts to say, well, there's this wrong and that wrong, and we want a couple of dollars off here. Well, that would not, in my mind, constitute knowledge. That's negotiation. That's like looking at a used car and saying, well, those tires there, they need replacement. That's a biased opinion from the buyer's agent. That is distinctly different, and in my mind, does not constitute knowledge as compared to getting it directly from a home inspector or directly from the lead paint inspector and or state database. So that's a point, great point by your questions there we got in the classroom the other day. Thank you so much for asking that question. Once again, if you hear about a known material defect with your property directly from an inspector, lead paint or home inspector, you should disclose that to future buyers. If you're just negotiating on the sales price with the buyer's agent, that is a biased source and does not constitute, in my opinion, actual knowledge. All right, hey, thanks very much. I'm Jack Gately from Jack Gately Real Estate and the Online Real Estate Academy. Thanks for watching Ask Jack. Bye-bye.